In our country, there are fundamental freedoms and rights that are enshrined in our Constitution, guaranteed to every single American, among which are our right to privacy and protection of our civil liberties. Now, the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution very specifically prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures without a warrant based on probable cause. But over the last 2 decades, in part because of information revealed by Edward Snowden, we now know that there have been ongoing breaches of our civil liberties through programs that were instituted through the Patriot Act and the FISA Amendments Act, which basically allowed agencies within our government to conduct mass illegal surveillance on Americans without a warrant or probable cause. For example, Section 215 of the Patriot Act has been used for years by the NSA to collect domestic phone records of millions of law-abiding Americans, again, without any kind of probable cause. FISA Amendments Act did something similar, but it allowed for mass collection of our emails. The intelligence community has not been transparent or honest with the American people or even Congress about what they've been doing. Some of you may know when James Clapper, who was the former director of national intelligence, was asked by the US Senate in an open hearing about whether or not the government was conducting this mass surveillance, this mass collection of information on everyday Americans, he lied under oath and said no. So to address these issues, my friend and colleague Congressman Tom Massey and I introduced legislation called the Protect Our Civil Liberties Act to make sure that Congress re-examines how best to strike this balance of protecting our national security interests while also ensuring that the constitutional rights of every single American is preserved. So here's a basic summary of what our legislation would do. Number one, it would repeal the Patriot Act, again, which included those provisions allowing for the mass collection of telephone metadata on everyday Americans. Number two, it would repeal the FISA Amendments Act, which contained those provisions allowing for mass collection of our emails. Three, it would make retaliation against federal national security whistleblowers illegal, people like Edward Snowden, and it would make sure that those who engaged in this kind of retaliation would be terminated. Four, it would ensure that any collection of information, again, on an American must be based on a warrant with probable cause. Five, it would prohibit these government-mandated, quote-unquote, backdoors from being built into electronic devices or software that would allow the government to bypass encryption or other privacy technology built into those systems. Number six, it would mandate that the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, would regularly monitor domestic surveillance programs for compliance with the law. This would happen on an annual basis. Protection of our civil liberties is essential. Join us in making sure that our constitutional rights are upheld. Call your member of Congress and ask them to co-sponsor HR 8970 today.